Hey everybody, ThrewRedButter here, back again with another beer review. Coming at you tonight with a very special beer from Treehouse Brewing out of many locations in Massachusetts and even New York and Connecticut. This beer is part of their Truth series of bourbon barrel aged imperial stouts. A couple months back, they have a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout called Truth, and they did a bunch of variants on it. We're talking, chocolate, coffee, coconut, ghost pepper, cookies and cream, anything you can think of in between espresso. For this one tonight, we have a variation of Truth, 13.5% bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, conditioned on chocolate, coffee, and coconut. This is the Treehouse Brewing Cocoa Coconut Truth. Right there. Or I guess if you're keeping score at home, if you're familiar with the Truth series, if you live in Massachusetts or whatever. Blue label, it had the blue wax on it, the blue sparkly wax on it. But yeah, it was a huge ordeal for them, huge production. They produced, a shit ton of it. It was a huge project, a huge undertaking. I didn't get my hands on all the variations, but I got a few of them that I'm good with. And look, this thing is pouring out thick as motor oil right now. There we go. Cocoa Coconut Truth. All right. So the appearance on the Cocoa Coconut Truth, 13.5%. Big bastard right there. All right. Less than a half a finger of head, but it is very dark brown. The body itself is completely pitch black. It poured out like motor oil on this one. Got some alcohol legs. Look at that. Coming off the glass, which is that clear film coming off. Let's get the Aroma on Cocoa Coconut Truth. Man, fresh roast coffee is the first thing I get. Like, really, it's a lot. The coffee dominates, I will say. For a beer called Cocoa Coconut, it's brewed with it's conditioned on coffee. It doesn't have coffee in the name, but coffee is the big thing. Almost nutty as well, in a way. It's got a very subtle bourbon character. Very subtle wood character. Definitely has hints of mocha in it. But coffee itself dominates more than actual like chocolate does. Not a lot of coconut, I will say. Like, I really couldn't tell that this, like, if you told me from the aroma alone that this was conditioned on coconut, I really couldn't attest to that. Any coconut is subtle hints from the actual barrel aging. Actually, maybe a little more coconut there on that whiff. But we're here for the taste. So let's get a taste on the Treehouse Cocoa Coconut Truth Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. That is a mouthful. Cheers. I've had a couple of these Truth variants. At the time I'm filming this, I haven't actually published them on the channel. This is consistent with all of them in the sense that it is so sweet. I will say, like an overly sugary sugar buzz experience. bitter black coffee on that swig. Like cocoa powder, if anything. Chocolate syrup, Hershey's chocolate syrup. Or even like coffee syrup, if that's a thing. There's a lot of sweetness in there. I mean, I'm not sure if that's from the bourbon or the other confectionery notes. Maybe that's where the coconut is coming in. But this has a very smooth texture. Maybe the coconut is lending itself to that smooth texture. In experience of having IPAs with coconut, or coconut IPAs, the coconut tends to lend more to, again, the body and the smooth texture of it, maybe not necessarily on the taste. Maybe that's what the coconut is doing here. But in terms of actual, like, coconut taste, like I said on the aroma, any coconut is maybe from the barrel, and not necessarily from, like, an actual coconut flavor from being conditioned on coconuts. Take a shot every time I just said coconut. Yeah, sweet, but I mean, the more I dig into it, it's surprisingly not too cloying in this case. You get that dark chocolate syrup. That sweet bourbon is there. Very sticky sweet bourbon. But not a mess. It's not a sweet, syrupy mess. There's that bourbon. Chocolate, again, any coconut is there. I'm going to attribute to the barrel, not actual coconuts conditioned on. Not a lot of char or tobacco, which I really look for in bourbon barrel-aged imperial stouts. Like, anytime I have a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout, I'll compare it to probably my favorite ever, which is the Bourbon County, which has all those char and tobacco notes and even vanilla notes. Not really here, although bourbon is present and big. Sweet, sticky bourbon as well. It's a very sweet beer. It is, but it's not pushing me back. It's not overly cloying or overly sweet, so I can continue to take sips of this, and it's not going to be turning me off, I guess, with its overt sweetness. But like actual chocolate, and again, like no real like actual coconut flavor. Again, not to sound like a broken record, but it tastes like a really good imperial stout, bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout, with like slightly enhanced coconut flavors and a little bit of that dark chocolate syrup. Body is very thick and viscous, very, and again, like, little bit of warming, which is helping cutting through the sweetness, so that's perfectly fine. But I mean, I could easily sip on this for hours and be perfectly fine. I wouldn't be turned off by the sweetness in any of the alcohol. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So, as my final score, final verdict, final rating on the Treehouse Brewing Cocoa Coconut Truth Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout, aged on chocolate, coffee, and coconut, 13.5% alcohol by volume. I mean, if anything, it's a really good bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, and it's got slightly enhanced coconut flavors. I wish the barrel itself lent more flavor to this. I'm looking for a lot more, char and tobacco and smoke. But as it is, it's pretty good. yeah, it is what it is. Very sweet, but not overly cloying or sweet. Yeah, you take like Bourbon County and you make it like, this is if a Bourbon County year it was too sweet, maybe that's what this would be. But still, at the same time, it's pretty good. So I mean, not the best bourbon barrel aged imperial stout I've had. Not the best variant on Truth I've had, but still very good. So I'll go. Yeah, I'll go 8.3 out of 10. That's what I got to give it. 8.3 out of 10 for the Treehouse Brewing Cocoa Coconut. Get that shot in. Cocoa Coconut Truth Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. That's another review from me, Through Red Butter. Till next time. Cheers, everybody.